Hi guys, welcome back or welcome if you're new. My name is Tiana and I'm the maker behind Also Stitched. And first, I just want to say thank you to everyone who has messaged me and reached out to me in the past 6 weeks and checked on me and asked if I'm okay, how I'm feeling, why am I not filming anymore, will I be back on YouTube, and things like that. I just really want to say that I truly appreciate every one of you reaching out and just checking. Yes, it really is nice and means a lot, and I'm very grateful for everyone. I am fine. I would like to say that I'm in my winter hibernation mode, whatever you want to call it, and I've been lazy. I'm not gonna lie. It's been 6 weeks since I filmed my last video, and since then, actually, since Supanova, I've been really lazy. Selling 3/4 of my inventory was like a bit overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, because I've been collecting and making all of those plushies for over a year now. Of course, yes, I've been selling some and I've been remaking new ones and things were coming in and coming out. But in general, I was making more than I was selling. So selling out 3/4 of my inventory was overwhelming, and I knew I need to build up my inventory again, but I didn't know where to start. I was lost, honestly, and I kind of lost my crojo, especially knowing that I have no markets to work for. And all the markets were up in the sky. Are they gonna happen? No. Unfortunately, I was declined for 3 of the biggest markets I applied, and I'm still waiting for 3 of them. The only market that I am sure I have is the Makers Market, which is going to be in November, and I have plenty of time to prep for that. And my uni markets are back, but at the moment the weather is not very nice and it's still very cold, so I haven't been back to uni. We'll see how the August will go because it's still very cold. So I was kind of lacking motivation to crochet anything. That's why I kind of took some time off and paused the crochet and turned back to knitting, because I had a lot of projects on my needles that I have started back in March, and I was promising my husband that he's gonna get his sweater by winter, which he did get it midwinter, but still I took some time to finish all those projects and I have casted on new ones. But I'm not gonna talk about my knitting today at all, because I think I'm gonna launch a different series to my YouTube channel, which normally knitters do. They film this as a knitting podcast where they talk about their whips, the finished projects, yarn acquisitions, and things like that. So I think I'm gonna launch something like that, just because I want to share my knitting experience, my knitting learning process. Even though I've been knitting for over 35 years, I am new to knitting proper garments. So it is a new learning experience for me and I want to share it. I want to share the yarn. I've been using Bendigo Woolen Mills yarn, and I have great experience and I want to share that with you. So yeah, I don't want to mix my knitting and crochet content just for you guys that are following me for my crochet only. I had one market 2 weeks ago, which I will do a recap of that market today, which is gonna be like a minute to recap because that market was disaster. That was Sydney Artisans Market, which I applied back in, I think, May, after seeing Litsa from Coco's Crochet channel. She did that market back in April, and she did mention that it was a very bad market, and they thought it was maybe because it was in the same time when the Easter Royal show was happening in Sydney, and they thought that was the reason. So I was like, okay, let's just give it a go, let's try. It's an indoor market. We are in the winter. I'm not doing outdoor markets in the winter. I am too cold and the weather is unpredictable, so I was like, let's do it. It's an indoor market. I want to try it. It is an expensive one. I paid $350 for it, and usually for me, I consider market a good market if I make 10 times that. Even if I make half, I will consider that success, but anything below that, it's disaster, which this one actually was. It was a 2-day market, and prior to that market, I was thinking of canceling it. Unfortunately, they don't do refunds. They give you credit for the next market, which was falling at the same time with my maker's market, which is usually a good market for me, and I didn't want that. So I was like, let's just go and cover the costs, which we did, but barely. It was disaster. So the first day we had around $300 sales. The next day we had also $300 sales, and we barely covered our costs. There was no foot traffic. That was the biggest issue. The organizers were the best organizers I have ever worked with because of the level of communication, organization, information that was provided. Everything was provided up front. So yeah, I really like that about them. But I'm not sure, is it the place that market was held, or the community was just not interested in a handmade market and things like that. I don't know. It was bad. It was really bad. I think everyone had a disaster day. The only good thing is that I didn't stress about market prepping for that market. I actually made only 2 loaf cats, which I'm gonna show you later, and that was it. I just couldn't be bothered because I didn't expect a lot. And honestly, that's all I have to say about that market. $600. I don't even remember what I sold. I remember selling like 6 mystery boxes. There was one kid that actually spent like $250 at my stall because he was coming back with $20 notes and just picking random things and bringing his family members. And yeah, I feel like if there wasn't that for them, I wouldn't even cover my expenses. Since I was in that winter hibernation mode and I was only knitting, I actually started with hats, like beanies, because I was watching Passionate Kelsey and she was making her double-stranded knitted ribbed beanies, and I was like, that looks like a quick make, maybe I should try that. And honestly guys, I tried one and I couldn't stop. I think I made 18 of them. I didn't count, and I brought them to that market. I actually sold 2 of them. One was that new ribbed beanie, and the other one was from my old stock from year before when I was doing Centro beanies. I no longer own Centro. I owned all 3 Centro machines, and I bought them just to try them and test them and see if I will like them. And I didn't like them. It is a boring process and it can be frustrating with yarns not going through the machine as easily as you would like, and then you're wasting yarn because you don't know what to do with it, and I just didn't enjoy the process. Cranking that machine was tedious, and I returned all 3 of my machines, and that's it. I no longer have Centro. Oh, in case you don't know what is Centro, Centro is a knitting machine where you just crank and make beanies, head warmers. You can make a lot actually, but I just wasn't interested. So back in time, I was cranking hats and I had a couple of them. I actually took them to Croatia for winter and gifted all my family members, and I was left with one. And I took that one to that market and it sold, and I was like, okay, one less. And if it was a better market, I feel my beanies would sell a lot because they did get a lot of attention. I think like out of all of the plushies, my beanies got most attention, but it just wasn't enough crowds for them to sell. I'm just gonna quickly show you all my beanies because I do think they're cute and they're a quick make. They take me less than 3 hours to hand knit. It is a free YouTube tutorial from Passionate Kelsey. The reason I went into this beanie is because I was stash busting. I wanted to get rid of my acrylic yarn. I have so much acrylic yarn which I mostly use for making flowers. I'm stupid when I'm buying yarn, to be honest guys, because I can't buy one yarn. I need to buy all the colors, and then those colors are sitting on my shelves and I don't know what to do with it. And I was like, I'm just gonna double strand them, as many beanies as I can, and probably sell them. If not, just give them or donate them, or we'll see. Let me just quickly show you a couple of them because like I said, I don't want to talk a lot about my knits, but this was all kind of market prep for me too, so I'll just gonna quickly go through them. So this is what they look like. They're just one by one rib. They're very stretchy. This is one size fits all because of the stretchiness. I had a couple of customers trying them for the kids, for adults, and they do fit all of them. And as you can see, they're double stranded, they're really cute, and they're quick make. I'm just gonna quickly go through the colors because there is too many of them. These are all made in Marvel 8 ply, and some of them are made in Spot Saver 10 ply. This one is a bit different because this one was triple stranded, and because of that it was very thick, so I didn't want to do the brim, so it is just a single layer beanie without brim. I don't know how you call that. This is Hobby Amigo yarn. And this is the last one. This is my favorite. So yeah, that's all when it comes to beanies. I was cracking beanies like crazy, and now I have no markets to sell them because I refuse to do winter markets. But the good thing about the beanies, I'm actually gonna bring them to my markets in the spring summer, because when you think about it, even though we are in Australia and it's very hot in Australia during Christmas season, most of the people from Australia do travel abroad visiting families, go to Europe, go to China, Chinese New Year's and everything. So they do travel to cold climates, and there is still a chance for me to sell these beanies. I'm just gonna try. I'm selling them for like $25. I'm not covering my hands. I know, 3 hours of work for a beanie and selling it for $25. I'm underselling myself, but I'm going through my stash. I'm getting rid of the yarn and I'm okay with that. So when it comes to markets, the only markets I'm gonna do are my uni markets. I'm no longer doing Kayema markets, even though those were the best markets I have ever done. Me and my husband have realized that it is a lot of work for us and travel. We need an hour and a half travel to Kayama, and it is market that is causing me the biggest stress and anxiety just for the weather, winds. And at the beginning of the year I decided that I want to slow down with my markets, and cutting down all markets is something I need to do. I will be only doing my uni markets with a couple of bigger markets if I get into them, and that's it. To help me get out the winter hibernation, I knew I had to do something because I just wasn't in the mood to crochet. So I applied for a couple of pattern tests, and that has pushed me back to crochet. So the first one applied was for Leonard the Lobster, which is by Tracy from Travel Crochet AU. She is also here on YouTube. And here is her lobster. It is already tagged because I took it to my last market. He is a good size. Like, I made him in Elise Veluto. I like him. He did get a lot of attention at that poorly market I did, so if it was a better market he might sell, but unfortunately it wasn't a good market. This is actually a really quick make. First you make the body. Actually I don't remember how this was made because I pattern test this, I feel like it was a month ago. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I apologize. It was a long time ago. I think these are surface crocheted, same as these things and this. The only thing you have to sew is this, and she actually asks you to sew this, but I didn't. I just surface crochet, same as this. It is a quick make, it's an easy make, and this pattern is available on her web shop. She doesn't have Etsy. I'm just gonna put it on screen. If you wanna buy this pattern, go check her website. So yeah, this was fun and I enjoyed pattern testing this, and this was actually my first ever pattern test. I just needed something to push me out of my lost crojo, so yeah, it didn't help. If I'm honest, I'm still not in the mood to crochet. I'm still mostly knitting, but I'll be back. I think I'll be back. I feel like I just need a bigger market to push me, and I will have to do it. This is Leonard the Lobster by Travel Crochet AU. When it comes to market prep, these were the only two love cats I market prepped for that market, and they did not sell. I'm gonna show you this yarn when I talk about my yarn haul because I have a lot of yarn to show you. I'm not a huge fan of this yarn. This yarn was pulling, obviously, and it looks weird, awkward. I feel like this is gonna end up in one of my mystery boxes because she was picked a couple of times because this is how she was standing. When lady picked her up and checked this weird, awkward, thick stripe, she was like, and put it back. So I'm not sure what I'm gonna do with that yarn because it is a lot of yarn, but I'm gonna show you in a second. So yeah, this was my only market prep I did for that market because these little love cats do sell, but there was no customers to buy. And my last pattern test was for Snuggle Beans Crochet. If you have been following me, you know all my dragons are made by Snuggle Beans Crochet pattern, and my biggest sold Pyrie was from her too. So when I saw that she's doing a pattern tester call, I applied immediately. Honestly, I did not expect to be accepted because I have no pattern test experience. I'm not big on Instagram. Actually, I'm miserable on Instagram. Yeah, I just didn't expect it. And I was shocked. I was shocked when I woke up to the hundreds of messages on my Instagram account and I was like, oh my god, what's going on? But here I am. I was chosen to pattern test Pax the puppy. It is her new series, Splitting Animals, and they are so cute because they can lay down, they can sit, and they can be like snugglers. Head is floppy because head is hanging only on this one strip, but that's the design she went for, and that actually helps to get all these positions of the head, and it's so cute. I love it. So I decided to go with this color palette because I was inspired by my dog's plush toy. I'm gonna insert the picture. My dog has the same plushie and I thought it was super cute and I wanted to recreate it. Snuggle Beans Crochet, or Shannon, she wanted us to do these huge enormous eyes, which they are cute. I actually like them, and she actually wanted us to put a plastic nose, which unfortunately I didn't have the biggest size, so I had to embroider, and I do think it's cute. I like it like this. What I like the most about her patterns, everything is crocheted in. Everything that can be crocheted in is crocheted in. And I love that. That makes life so much easier. The only thing you have to sew is head to the body, which is understandable. But actually, now that I think and look into this, and the way I have sewed it in, it's actually sewed in one of the rounds exactly. At least I did it. And now that I think about it, this could actually be crocheted in too. Yeah, it can actually be done. But this was not a big deal to sew, guys. Honestly, it wasn't. That's actually cool. But oh well, it doesn't matter. He is cute. So this was my second pattern test and I enjoyed it. I have to say, I was a bit overwhelmed. I am not a social person. I am someone who suffers social anxiety, and waking up to 100 messages on Instagram, it was a bit overwhelming for me. So I had to mute the group. I'm not someone who likes to message people, chat with people, because I would rather be crocheting or knitting. I don't have time for that. So I would only go back to the group once a day, check all the messages, mostly check if Shannon said something important that we need to refer to or follow, and that was it. I apologize for that. If Shannon is watching this, I think she might. She usually watches my videos. So I apologize for not participating in the communication in the group. It is just me. I'm like that. I'm socially awkward and introvert, homebody, but I enjoy the pattern test. I enjoy working on him, and this wasn't the only thing I did because she did send us a couple of more as a thank you for testing, and this one was actually one of the plushies I also requested to test. So I requested to test the puppy, and then I also decided to make Figgy the frog. Oh my god, this is the cutest goofiest frog I have ever seen. First of all, it reminds me of Crochet. I'm gonna insert a picture of Crochet in case you don't know who Crochet is. It is a character from Sanrio. It is the cutest. I just couldn't. Again, he can lay down. He can sit. And he is floppy. As everyone else, it is floppy, which I understand why it is. I'm just curious how customers are gonna react to the floppiness of the head in general on both of them. I'm just gonna have to explain that this head will allow you to position them in different positions. Again, this is all crochet in, except for the head to the body. You have to sew that, you have to sew the cheeks, and there is an option for you to either crochet in the eyes or sew them in. I decided to crochet them just to check them. They are floppy, but I like that. I find him very goofy and silly looking like this, so I decided to crochet them in, and I will just watch the customers' interaction with this plushie and see if this will put them off or make them laugh. In case this is gonna put them off and they think this is weird, I can easily just sew the eyes down, because if I sew it down, he's actually cute looking with the sewn eyes down, but I like the goofiness. I like this. He's so silly. So yeah, I was so happy to make him. I did receive a couple of others and I'm gonna make them, of course. There is a bear, there is a Lily the lamb. Lily the lamb was so cute. I was in the same group with all the people that were making Lily the lamb, and Mixie the mouse, I think it's called. I apologize if I didn't remember the name. But there is also bear, and there is already a mod for the bear where you can make it the bear in Winnie the Pooh colors. It is so cute. So yeah, I am so grateful to Shannon and thankful for allowing me to test these two guys. And I had fun making them, and I would suggest you guys to try and do these splitting animals. They are all already available on her Etsy shop, Snuggle Beans Crochet. Go check it out. Just adorable. That's actually the only crochet I had in these past 6 weeks, and I enjoyed this pattern test so much, and I'm looking forward to get back into crochet. It's time for me to do it because I need to build up my stock. My stock levels are, my inventory is so low, and even if I go back to my uni markets, I don't feel like I will have a big sales just because I have 0 toothless, I have 0 stingrays. All my bestseller plushies are gone, so I need to go back to plushie making and get ready for the market season, because we are going into spring, summer, Christmas season. So yeah, I need to start crocheting back again. I do have a bit of yarn haul to show you. If you remember back when the supernova was happening, Spotlight had a huge sale where you can get Lion brand yarns cakes for 3 for 15. I actually on the last day of supernova placed a huge order for more. I don't know why. I just wanted to have them in stash in case I want to make something. So I bought another 9 balls of these. Which is a lot, but I'm gonna show you the progress on my blanket I'm making, and I'm gonna talk about that in a second. And then I bought another 6 skeins of these, or balls, cakes, yeah, cakes, just because I do find this color very nice and it would be a beautiful blanket. So yeah, I just want to have it in my stash. This was ridiculously cheap. It was $5 and I couldn't pass that. And on the same note, I wanted to try their Ferris wheel yarn. So I bought, I think 6 skeins of these. This one is in color Cotton Candy. It's really nice. This could be a smaller blanket or hexi cardigan, we'll see. And then I also grabbed this one. I only got 3 of these because these are a lot bigger, and this is in color Wood Nymph. Not the biggest fan of this. I'll see what I'll make. I can make beanies, I can make hexi cardigans. I have so many hexi cardigans planned that I don't even know when I'm gonna make them, because I have realized that knitted garments look so much better and I prefer them knitted over the crocheted ones. So we'll see what I'm gonna make out of this. After the Supanova, I had to buy more of these. It was on sale, so I bought 4 skeins. I usually make my toothless out of these. I didn't make Pyre out of this. Pyre was made from Bernat blanket, just because Bernat blanket is a bit easier on my hands than this. Every time I watch Australian crocheters, they all keep talking about the mill ends and how they find a lot of blanket yarn, especially Bernat blanket. And my spotlight never has any of them. And I was visiting doctor in CBD, and then I went to their spotlight and I managed to find some. So I'm just gonna show you. It's not a lot. I just wanted to try a couple of them. This looks like just a pink Bernat blanket. I didn't even open or try this one, but I did open and try this one. This is the weird looking loaf cat I made, and these mill ends come in 400 grams, which is a lot. You get a lot of I think I paid $7 for this bag, which is a bargain. But I'm not sure what I'm gonna make with this, because the pulling of this yarn is not nice, so we'll see. At the same time I bought those blanket yarns. I also bought more of the Spot Saver 10-ply yarn. Just because I was destashing Marvel 8-ply, I decided to switch to 10-ply. First of all, Spot Saver is much softer than Marvel. Second, it's bigger, and I'm usually making flowers, so I thought if I make my flowers in a 10-ply, I can make them smaller and have less work on them, which it is. I actually tried a couple of them. So I just did a couple of tulip heads. They're not substantially bigger. The only thing that I decreased was I decreased 2 stitches per row, and I managed to decrease 1 round, and that's it. Not a lot of savings, but at least it's something, and I like the way this feels. It is so much nicer and softer than Marvel. So yeah, this is all I crocheted lately. So this is what the Spot Saver 10-ply looks like. There are 200 grams balls. This is 100% acrylic, and they're really nice and soft. I was making some of my beanies out of them. So yeah, I just got all the colors because I have a problem when it comes to buying yarn and deciding on the colors. I don't think I bought like the darker tones, but I went with all the pastel and light colors because I'm gonna make flowers or beanies or whatever. I've already used this one. This one was very soft. It's in this beanie, and I actually love this. You can see it's double-stranded with a different color, and this color was really beautiful. I don't have the full skein because it's all used up for a couple of beanies. But yeah, this color is really nice and soft. So I have a couple of more colors. I already used the orange for a beanie. Here are some other. I didn't lie when I said I have to buy them all. And they were ridiculously cheap. This is like $4.50 for 200 grams. They were on 50% off, I think, yeah. And then these ones. These ones are Spot Saver prints, and they're a bit smaller, and this is the one I made for the beanie, but in a different color. But they're nice. When you mix them with some other colors, double strand them, you can get a cute blanket, beanie, whatever. And that's all when it comes to my yarn haul. Not a lot. This was all purchased over the past month. This is not a one-day haul, so I was just collecting and I just wanted to show you. I do have a lot more yarn from Bendigo Woolen Mill. I'm gonna show that in my knitting podcast because it is all related to my knitting plans. Just quickly before we go, because there's nothing else to show, I just want to show you the progress on my doodad blanket from Hooked on Sunshine. I didn't go a lot. This is the progress I have. The reason I've stopped working on this was I don't like this black. I know I already talked about this. I am a pink girly. I like pink in this, but this black looks so dirty, so awkward. Just have a look from the close-up. I just don't like it. It is ugly. I'm gonna say it's ugly. And I wanted to frog it and cut out the black because I have 15 skeins of this yarn, and that would be enough for me to finish the blanket just in a pink colors. And when I was deciding what should I do, this blanket was just sitting here for a couple of days while I was thinking and deciding. And then my daughter came and said, "Oh my God, this is so beautiful. Can I have it?" I'm like, "What? You really like this?" "Yeah, I love it. Can I have it? Is it a rug?" I'm like, "No, it's not rug. It's a blanket. It's gonna be blanket. It's gonna be huge once it's done." And I told her that I want to frog it because I don't like the black. It's ugly. And she said, "No, the black is the best part. It breaks it in and she likes it." And I'm like, "Do you want it?" She said, "Yes, of course. Just make it big enough so I can cover myself." I'm like, "Yes, I'm gonna do that, but are you sure? Because I have to look into this while I'm working and I'm not enjoying even picking this up because I don't like, if it's not aesthetically pleasing for me to work on it, I'm not gonna pick it up and work on it because it's ugly." But she wants it and now I have to make it. And that's the plan. I'm gonna continue working on this slowly because I'm not in the mood, but it's gonna be finished one day. Her birthday is in January. Maybe I can finish it by then. We'll see. That's too close. Maybe winter. We'll see. That's it, guys. Not a lot was happening. I don't have a lot to show, but I hope just filming this video will push me to continue making. I was tagged in so many videos that I should be filming and I'm gonna do them. It's gonna take some time. I also have a couple of requests for videos that I have promised to make. I hope you like it. I hope you enjoy. Thank you to all the new subscribers that subscribed coming from the supanova video. I really appreciate that. I hope you will follow me on my knitting journey. If you don't like knitting, maybe I can inspire you to start knitting because knitting is not hard. If you're a crocheter, picking up knitting is actually really not hard. I was knitting before crocheting, so it wasn't an issue for me. But yeah, I'm just gonna do it to inspire people and to show what I'm making. And I hope you will join me on my knitting journey too and to watch those videos. It's not gonna be a lot because knitting is a very slow process, so I can only probably make one video a month, maybe two. We'll see. It's not that I did more with crochet anyway. But oh well. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching and until next time, happy crafting.